After his confrontation with Ambassador Veltar and Dr. Young, Minho knew he needed help to expose the conspiracy and save other human students. He could not fight the entire alien network alone, even with his incredible enhanced abilities. Minho decided to approach Kim Dae-ho first because he had noticed that Dae-ho always asked difficult questions during classes and seemed to distrust authority figures. His enhanced intuition told him that Dae-ho would be willing to help if he knew the truth. Next morning, Minho found Dae-ho studying alone in the academy library. He sat down across from him and spoke quietly. Dae-ho, I need to tell you something very important about what is happening at this academy, but you must promise to keep it secret until we can gather more evidence. Dae-ho looked up from his books with curiosity. What kind of secret? He asked. Minho leaned closer and whispered, the academy has been conducting illegal medical experiments on human students. Many have died, and more are scheduled to be tested. Dae-ho's eyes widened in shock. That is impossible, he said. The academy is supposed to protect students, not harm them. Minho pulled out the data device containing the files he had copied from the research facility. I have proof, he said, but we need to be very careful. The conspiracy involves high-ranking academy officials and multiple alien governments. He showed Dae-ho some of the medical reports about previous test subjects. Dae-ho's face went pale as he read about the horrific experiments and the high death rates among human participants. This is monstrous. Dae-ho whispered, how long has this been happening? According to the files, at least 3 years. Minho replied, 46 human students have already died from these experiments. I was supposed to be victim number 47, but somehow I survived. Vidya stared at Minho more carefully. Now that he knew the truth, he could see that his fellow student looked different. His muscles were much larger than before, and his eyes seemed to glow with inner power. What did they do to you? Dae-ho asked in amazement. They injected me with Vorthan enhancement serum instead of a flu shot, Minho explained. It was supposed to kill me like all the others, but instead it made me stronger, faster, and smarter than any human has ever been. To prove his point, Minho carefully picked up a heavy metal bookend from the table and crushed it in his bare hands. The solid metal crumpled like soft clay between his fingers. Dae-ho watched in amazement as his friend demonstrated impossible strength. That is incredible, he said, but also terrifying. What are you going to do with such power? I am going to use it to protect other humans from becoming victims, Minho replied. But I need allies who can help gather evidence and expose the conspiracy. Dae-ho nodded. Immediately. Count me in, he said. If what you are telling me is true, then we have a duty to stop these monsters. Next, they approached Hanyura, who worked in the academy communications department. She had access to message systems and could help them find more evidence of the conspiracy. Yura was initially skeptical when they told her about the illegal experiments, but when Minho showed her the copied files and demonstrated his enhanced abilities, she quickly became convinced. This explains so much, she said. I have noticed strange communications between academy officials and unknown alien contacts. I thought they were just normal diplomatic messages, but now I realize they were coordinating these experiments. Yura agreed to help by monitoring all communications related to Project Enhancement. She could also use her access to warn other human students who were scheduled for upcoming experiments. The 3 conspirators formed a secret resistance cell within the academy. They met secretly in unused classrooms and communicated through coded messages to avoid detection. Minho used his enhanced senses to identify other human students who were in immediate danger. His incredible hearing allowed him to overhear conversations between medical staff about upcoming procedures. They learned that Park Minji was scheduled to receive Corvani strength serum in 2 days. Lee Sunho would get Zalari speed enhancement next week, and Chohana was listed for experimental brain modification procedures. The resistance cell worked quickly to warn these students and help them avoid their scheduled appointments. They created false emergencies and scheduling conflicts to delay the procedures while they gathered more evidence, but their activities did not go unnoticed. Ambassador Veltar had recovered from his encounter with Minho and was now coordinating with other alien officials to capture the enhanced human security around the academy increased dramatically. Alien guards appeared at strategic locations claiming they were conducting routine inspections, but Minho's enhanced senses could detect their true purpose. The aliens were hunting for him. Specifically, they had orders to capture him alive if possible, but to eliminate him if he posed too great a threat to their operations. Minho realized that time was running out. The aliens would not wait much longer. Before making their move, he needed to gather enough evidence to expose the conspiracy before they could silence him permanently. Using his incredible speed and stealth, Minho infiltrated more restricted areas of the academy. He found additional files proving that the conspiracy reached the highest levels of academy leadership. Principal Oh Sung-min knew about Project Enhancement and had been receiving large payments from alien governments. Several department heads were also involved in covering up the illegal experiments. The resistance cell discovered that the conspiracy extended beyond the academy. Other human military schools throughout the galaxy were conducting similar experiments. The aliens were trying to create enhanced human soldiers for their own armies. Yura intercepted communications, revealing that over 200 human students had been killed in these experiments across multiple facilities. The scope of the conspiracy was far larger than they had initially realized. Meanwhile, alien surveillance of the resistance cell was increasing. Minho could sense hidden cameras and listening devices being placed around areas where they met. His enhanced perception detected the electronic signatures of monitoring equipment. Aliens were also using advanced technology to track Minho's movements. They had devices that could follow his unique enhanced energy signature even when he was using stealth abilities. Dea suggested they needed to take their evidence to the Galactic Council immediately, but Minho pointed out that some council members might be involved in the conspiracy as well. They needed to be very careful about who they trusted with this information. The wrong person could warn the conspirators and get them all killed before they could expose the truth. The resistance cell decided to prepare multiple backup plans. They would gather as much evidence as possible and then simultaneously release it to several different authorities and news organizations. But first they needed to protect the human students who were scheduled for immediate experimentation. Minho could not allow more of his people to die while they were preparing their case. The enhanced human decided to take direct action to disrupt the next scheduled experiment. Park Minji was supposed to receive Corvani enhancement serum the following morning. Minho planned to intercept her before she reached the medical facility and hide her somewhere safe until they could expose the conspiracy, but he knew this action would definitely alert the aliens to his activities. Once the conspirators realized he was actively interfering with their operations, they would try to capture or kill him immediately. He would have to be ready for a final confrontation. Dea and Yura prepared to release all their evidence simultaneously to multiple contacts throughout the galaxy. If anything happened to Minho, they would make sure the truth was revealed even if he did not survive. As night fell before the planned rescue mission, Minho felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He was not just fighting for his own freedom anymore. He was fighting for the future of humanity itself. The aliens saw humans as expendable test subjects and potential slave soldiers, but Minho would show them that humans were capable of fighting back with courage, intelligence, and determination. His enhanced abilities made him powerful, but his human spirit made him dangerous to those who threatened his people. The final battle was about to begin, and Minho was ready to face whatever came next. He would protect his fellow humans no matter what the cost to himself. The rebellion had started, and there was no turning back now. The morning of the planned rescue mission arrived with heavy gray clouds covering the academy. The weather seemed to match the dangerous mood as Minho prepared for what might be his final battle against the alien conspiracy. Minho woke up before dawn and used his enhanced senses to scan the academy grounds. His incredible hearing picked up unusual activity throughout the campus. There were far more alien guards than normal, and they were positioning themselves at strategic locations. Ambassador Veltar had obviously decided to spring his trap today. He was using Park Minji's scheduled experiment as bait to capture Minho when he tried to rescue her, but Minho had anticipated this possibility. His enhanced intelligence had already developed multiple backup plans. He would not walk blindly into their ambush instead of going directly to intercept Minji. Minho first contacted Deho and Yura through their secret communication system. They are ready for us today, he messaged. The aliens have set a trap using Minji as bait. We need to implement emergency plan 7 immediately. Dea And Yura had been waiting for this signal. They immediately began uploading all their evidence to news organizations and government contacts throughout the galaxy. Even if Minho was captured or killed, the truth about Project Enhancement would be revealed. Minho used his incredible speed to reach the communication center where Yura was working. She had accessed the Academy's main transmission array and was broadcasting their evidence to dozens of different locations. Simultaneously, the files containing medical reports, photos, and recorded conversations were being sent to human rights organizations, military investigators, and independent journalists across multiple star systems. "This is our insurance policy," Yura said as she monitored the transmission progress. "Even if they stop us now, the evidence will reach too many people to cover up." Minho nodded and turned to Deho, who was coordinating with other human students throughout the academy. Many had agreed to help once they learned the truth about the illegal experiments. "We have about 50 human students ready to join the resistance," Deho reported. "They are angry about what has been done to our people and ready to fight back." Minho felt proud of his fellow humans. They might not have enhanced abilities like him, but they had courage and determination that made them formidable opponents. Now it was time to rescue Minji and confront the alien conspiracy directly. Minho used his enhanced stealth to approach the medical facility where she was being held. As he expected, the building was surrounded by alien guards carrying advanced energy weapons. They thought their superior technology and numbers would be enough to capture one enhanced human, but they had underestimated what Minho had become. He was not just physically enhanced. His human creativity and adaptability had also been amplified by the Vorthan serum. Instead of attacking the guards directly, Minho used his enhanced intelligence to turn their own security systems against them. He accessed the building's power grid and caused strategic blackouts that disabled their communications and sensors. In the confusion, he slipped past the guards and reached the room where Minji was being prepared for her fatal injection. Yang was there along with 2 alien medical technicians. Minho appeared in the doorway like an avenging spirit. His enhanced presence filled the room with such intensity that the medical equipment began sparking and smoking. "Step away from her," he commanded in a voice that shook the entire building. Yang dropped the injection needle and backed against the wall in terror. The alien technicians reached for their weapons, but Minho moved faster than they could react. He disabled both aliens with precise strikes that left them unconscious but alive. Minho's enhanced control allowed him to use exactly the right amount of force. "Are you hurt?" he asked Minji as he quickly freed her from the medical restraints. "No," she replied, but her voice was shaking. "I thought I was just getting a routine health." Minho spent the next 3 days carefully planning his investigation. He used his enhanced abilities to study the Academy's security patterns and find the best times to access restricted areas. His new brain could process multiple complex plans. At the same time, late one night when most students were sleeping, Minho made his move. He used his incredible speed and stealth to reach the high-security medical research facility. This was where the most dangerous experiments were conducted. Away from the main academy buildings, the facility had multiple locks and security cameras, but Minho's enhanced senses allowed him to avoid detection. He could hear the electronic hum of cameras and smell the metal components of security devices. His enhanced agility let him move through the building like a shadow. In the deepest part of the facility, Minho found a room filled with medical files and computer terminals. The information stored here was much more detailed than what he had found in Dr. Yang's office. The computer files revealed the complete truth about Project Enhancement. The program had been secretly funded by 5 different alien governments for over 3 years. They wanted to create enhanced human soldiers who would be loyal to alien masters rather than to humanity. Minho read through dozens of medical reports about previous test subjects. The results were horrifying. Most humans who received alien enhancement serums died in terrible pain. Their bodies could not handle the foreign chemicals and their organs shut down one by one. Those who survived the initial injection often suffered worse fates. Their brains became damaged and they lost their ability to think clearly. Some became violent and dangerous, while others fell into permanent comas. The files showed photographs of these failed experiments, and Minho felt sick looking at what had happened to other human students. They had trusted the Academy medical staff just like he had, but they had paid With their lives according to the documents, Minho was test subject number 47 in the Vorthan serum trials. All previous subjects had either died or become permanently disabled. He was the only one who had successfully adapted to the enhancement. Without losing his sanity, this made him incredibly valuable to the alien researchers. They wanted to study his body and brain to understand why he had survived when others had failed with this information. They believed they could create a reliable process for enhancing humans, but the files also revealed something even more disturbing. The alien governments planned to use enhanced humans as expendable soldiers in their wars against each other. Humans were considered cheap and replaceable compared to alien warriors. Enhanced humans would be sent on the most dangerous missions where many would die. The aliens did not care about human casualties as long as their own species remained safe. Minho found a list of upcoming test subjects and was shocked to see names. He recognized several of his classmates were scheduled to receive different experimental serums over the next month. None of them knew what was really planned for them. Among the scheduled subjects was his roommate Jiwan, who was supposed to receive Zilari Speed Enhancement Serum next week. There was also Park Minji from his combat training class, who was listed for Korvani Strength trials. Minho realized he had to act quickly to save his friends. Many more humans would suffer and die if he did not stop this program immediately. He copied all the important files onto a portable data device and prepared to leave the facility. But as he was about to go, he heard footsteps approaching the research room. Through the doorway came Dr. Young, accompanied by two tall alien figures. Minho recognized one of them as Ambassador Veltar from the Zentari species. The other alien was unfamiliar, but wore the uniform of a high-ranking military officer. Told you the subject was becoming suspicious. Dr. Young was saying to the aliens, his enhanced senses are making it difficult to monitor him without detection. Then we must accelerate our timeline. Ambassador Veltar replied, we cannot risk losing such a valuable specimen. The military officer spoke in a harsh alien language that Minho's enhanced brain automatically translated. Capture him tonight and transfer him to our ship. We have waited long enough for this opportunity. Minho felt rage building inside him as he listened to them discuss him like he was an animal to be captured. His enhanced body responded to his anger, and the air around him seemed to vibrate with energy. He decided to confront them directly rather than trying to sneak away. His new abilities made him confident that he could handle any threat they might pose. Stepping out from his hiding place, Minho spoke in a voice filled with controlled fury. So, you have been experimenting on humans without permission and planning to use us as expendable soldiers. The three conspirators turned toward him in shock. Dr. Yang's face went pale with fear, while the two aliens immediately moved into defensive positions. Ambassador Veltar recovered from his surprise quickly. You should be honored, human. Your sacrifice will help create a new era of enhanced soldier sacrifice. Minho replied, his voice growing deeper and more threatening. I never agreed to be part of your experiments. The Zentari ambassador laughed. Your consent was never required. Humans are a lower species that exists to serve your betters. You should be grateful that we made you stronger. Minho's anger exploded into action. He moved so fast that the aliens could barely see him. His enhanced strength allowed him to grab Dr. Yang and lift him off the ground with one hand. Tell me everything, he demanded. How many other humans have you killed with your experiments? Dr. Yang was terrified by Minho's overwhelming presence. The enhanced human's aura of power was so intense that the office windows began to crack from the pressure. 46 subjects before you, the doctor gasped. Most died within hours. Some lasted days before their bodies failed. Only you survived the full transformation. Minho felt sick knowing that so many humans had died because of these illegal experiments. He turned toward Ambassador Veltar with murder in his eyes. The Zentari ambassador was no longer laughing. He could sense the incredible power radiating from Minho and realized that the enhanced human might actually be strong enough to fight back. You cannot stop us, the ambassador said, trying to sound confident. There are too many of us and we control this academy. Minho smiled grimly. We will see about that. He threw Dr. Yang across the room, where the doctor crashed into a wall and fell unconscious. The two aliens drew energy weapons, but Minho moved too quickly for them to aim properly. The enhanced human grabbed the military officer's weapon and crushed it in his bare hands. The metal crumpled like paper under His incredible strength, Ambassador Veltar fired his weapon, but Minho dodged the energy blast easily. The beam missed him and blasted a hole through the wall behind him. Minho closed the distance between them in an instant. His enhanced speed made him appear to teleport across the room. He grabbed the ambassador by the throat and lifted him into the air. "You experimented on my people without permission," he said in a voice that shook the entire building. "Now you will face the consequences of your actions." The ambassador struggled uselessly against Minho's grip. His own considerable strength was nothing compared to what the enhanced human possessed. "Please," the alien gasped, "we can make a deal. You can have money, power, anything you want." Minho's eyes blazed with righteous fury. "The only thing I want is justice for the humans you murdered." He threw the ambassador across the room, where the alien crashed into computer equipment. The impact destroyed several data terminals and sent sparks flying everywhere. The enhanced human stood in the center of the destroyed room, surrounded by broken equipment and defeated enemies. His transformation was complete. He was no longer just a student at the academy. He had become something far more dangerous. A protector of humanity who would fight against any threat to his people. But Minho knew this was only the beginning. The conspiracy involved many more aliens and corrupt academy officials. He would have to expose the entire network and make sure no more humans were harmed. First, he needed to find allies who would help him fight this battle. He could not defeat all the conspirators alone, even with his incredible new abilities. Time was running out. Other human students were scheduled for experimentation. Soon, if he did not act quickly, more of his people would suffer and die. Minho gathered the evidence he had found and prepared to begin the most important mission of his life. He would protect humanity from those who saw them as expendable test subjects. The war for human freedom was about to begin. Ambassador Veltar of the Hegemony Coalition was sitting in his private ship orbiting the Academy planet. His species, the Zentari, were known throughout the galaxy for their natural strength and enhanced abilities. They had ruled many worlds through their superior physical power for thousands of years. When Veltar received reports about a human student with incredible abilities, he became very interested. Humans were supposed to be weak and average compared to most alien species. They were only accepted into the Galactic Defense Academy because they were good at following orders and working together. But this human called Minho was different. According to the reports, he was now as strong as a Vorthan warrior and as fast as a Zalari scout. This should have been impossible for any human Veltar had ever encountered. The ambassador contacted Dr. Yang through a secret communication channel. "I want detailed information about this enhanced human," he said. "I'm willing to pay very well for complete medical data." Dr. Yang was excited about making money from this situation. "Of course, Ambassador," he replied. "I can provide everything you need: blood samples, strength measurements, brain scans, and more." Veltar smiled with his sharp teeth. "Excellent. Bring me everything within 1 week. If this human is truly as enhanced as you claim, he could be very valuable to my government." Dr. Yang agreed immediately. He did not care about Minho's safety or rights. He only cared about the large payment he would receive from the alien ambassador. Meanwhile, Minho was experiencing more changes in his abilities. His brain was processing information faster than ever before. When he looked at complex battle simulations in his military strategy class, he could instantly see the best solutions. His enhanced mind understood tactics and warfare like he had been studying them for decades. During physical training, Minho discovered he could move so fast that other students could barely see him. His reflexes were incredible. He could catch objects thrown at him without even looking and dodge attacks that came from multiple directions at once. The Academy's combat instructors were amazed and worried. They had never seen a human with such natural fighting abilities. Minho could defeat alien students who had been training for years, even though he had only been at the Academy for a few months. But Minho also started having strange visions during his sleep. He dreamed about alien worlds he had never visited and battles he had never fought. In these dreams, he was leading human armies against powerful alien enemies and winning through clever strategies and superior tactics. His enhanced senses were becoming stronger. Every day he could smell different alien species from across the Academy grounds and hear heartbeats through thick walls. His eyes could see perfectly in complete darkness and detect Tiny movements from very far away one night, while walking through the academy halls, Minho overheard a conversation between Dr. Yang and someone speaking in an alien language. His enhanced brain automatically translated the words. "The subject is developing beyond our expectations," the alien voice said. "His abilities are now comparable to our elite warriors." "Yes, Ambassador Veltar," Dr. Yang replied. "The transformation is complete. We should begin the extraction process soon." Minho felt his heart rate increase as he realized they were talking about him. What did they mean by extraction process? This sounded very dangerous. He quietly moved closer to hear more of their conversation. His enhanced stealth abilities allowed him to approach without making any sound. "We need to bring him to our research facility on Zentari Prime," the ambassador continued. "Our scientists want to study how human biology reacted to the Vorthan serum." Vorthan serum, Minho thought to himself, so that was what had really happened to him. He had not received a flu shot at all. He had been given alien enhancement medicine. "This could help us create more enhanced humans for our military forces," Veltar continued. "Humans are easy to control, and if we can make them as strong as our own warriors, they would be perfect soldiers." Dr. Yang laughed. "Yes, and we would both become very wealthy from this arrangement." Minho felt anger building inside him like fire in his chest. These people had experimented on him without permission, and now they wanted to use him to create an army of enhanced human slaves. He carefully moved away from their meeting and returned to his room. His roommate Jiwan was already asleep, but Minho could not rest. His enhanced mind was working on plans to expose what was happening. The next day, Minho started paying more attention to everything around him. His enhanced senses picked up many conversations between Academy staff members and alien visitors. He learned that several alien governments were interested in his transformation. Some aliens saw him as a valuable research subject, others viewed him as a potential threat to their power. If humans could be enhanced to match alien abilities, it might change the balance of power in the galaxy. During his classes, Minho began testing his abilities more carefully. He wanted to understand exactly how powerful he had become in combat training. He held back most of his strength so others would not realize his full potential, but he also started gathering information about the Academy's security systems and the locations of important files. His enhanced intelligence allowed him to memorize building layouts and guard schedules perfectly. Minho realized he needed allies. If he was going to fight against this conspiracy, he began watching other students carefully to see who might be trustworthy. Kim Daeho was a human student known for asking difficult questions about academy policies. He often challenged instructors when their explanations did not make sense. Minho thought Daeho might be willing to help expose the truth. Han Yura worked in the academy's communications department. She had access to message systems and data files that could contain evidence of the illegal experimentation. Minho noticed that she always seemed honest and caring toward other students, but approaching them would be dangerous. If Dr. Yang suspected that Minho knew the truth about his condition, he might try to capture him immediately or even have him killed to protect the secret. Minho also worried about what other experiments might be planned. Were there other human students who were scheduled to receive the same treatment? How many aliens were involved in this conspiracy? His enhanced intuition told him that time was running out. Ambassador Veltar would not wait much longer before trying to take him away from the academy. Once he was on an alien ship, he would have no chance of escape or rescue at night. Minho used his enhanced abilities to sneak through restricted areas of the academy. He wanted to find evidence of what had been done to him and what was planned for the future. In Dr. Young's office, he found files about something called Project Enhancement. These documents described plans to create enhanced human soldiers for various alien governments. The project had been running for 2 years, and Minho was just the latest test subject. The files also contained disturbing information about previous test subjects. Most humans who received alien enhancement serums died within days. Those who survived often suffered permanent brain damage or went completely insane. Minho was apparently the first human to successfully adapt to Vorthan enhancement serum without major psychological problems. This made him extremely valuable to the alien governments funding the research. The Documents also revealed that more experiments were planned. Other human students at the academy were scheduled to receive different types of alien enhancements over the next few months. Minho realized he was not just fighting for his own freedom. He was fighting to protect other humans from becoming unwilling test subjects in illegal alien experiments. As he read through more files, Minho discovered that the conspiracy involved high-ranking officials in the academy administration. Several department heads knew about Project Enhancement and were receiving payments from alien governments. This meant that reporting the problem through normal channels would be useless. The people who should protect the students were actually the ones harming them. Minho knew he would have to take action on his own, but first he needed to find allies and gather more evidence. He also needed to prepare for the possibility that Ambassador Veltar might try to capture him at any time. His enhanced senses told him that alien agents were already watching him closely. He could smell their unusual scent and hear their careful footsteps following him around the academy. The final confrontation was coming soon, and Minho needed to be ready. Dr. Yang Hyunwoo was doing his morning check of all the medicine supplies in the Academy Medical Center. He walked between the tall shelves filled with bottles and containers of different alien medicines. This was something he did every day to make sure nothing was missing or damaged. When he reached the special storage area marked with red warning signs, his face went pale. One bottle was missing from the Vorthan Enhancement Serum section. This was very bad news. The serum was experimental and dangerous. It was only supposed to be used on Vorthan warriors who had special body chemistry that could handle the powerful effects. Dr. Yang quickly checked the security cameras on his computer. The footage showed Park Sora taking the wrong bottle. Yesterday, when she was preparing medicine for a human student, his hands started shaking as he realized what had happened. A human had received Vorthan Enhancement Serum instead of a simple flu shot. He called Sora to his office immediately. When she arrived, she looked nervous and scared. Dr. Yang showed her the camera footage and watched as her face turned white with fear. "You gave experimental alien serum to a human student," he said in a quiet, angry voice. "Do you understand what you have done?" Sora started crying. "I made a mistake," she said. "I was nervous after you yelled at me earlier. I grabbed the wrong bottle without looking carefully. I'm so sorry." Dr. Yang walked around his office thinking about what to do. If the Galactic Council found out about this mistake, both he and Sora would lose their jobs and probably go to prison for illegal experimentation on humans. The Academy would also get in serious trouble. "We cannot tell anyone about this," he finally said. "If the Council finds out, we will both be finished. You must promise to never speak about this to anyone." "But what about the student?" Sora asked. "What will happen to him?" Dr. Yang thought about this. The Vorthan serum was designed to make warriors stronger and faster. Most humans who received it would die within hours, but if this student survived the first day, he might become incredibly powerful. "We will watch him carefully," he said. "If he shows any problems, we will say it was a delayed reaction to normal medicine. We will not mention the serum at all." Meanwhile, Minho and Jiwan were trying to figure out how to get to the medical center without causing a scene. Minho could not fit into any of his clothes. His regular uniform was completely destroyed. When he tried to wear Jiwan's clothes, they also tore apart because Minho was now much bigger. They found some exercise clothes that could stretch and barely fit over Minho's huge muscles. Even these clothes looked like they might rip at any moment. Minho had to walk very carefully to avoid breaking anything else in their room. As they walked through the academy hallways, other students stopped and stared at Minho. Some pointed and whispered to their friends. Minho had been an average-sized human yesterday, but now he looked like one of the giant alien warriors. The academy had students from many different planets. Some were tall and thin, like the Zalari. Others were short and strong, like the Corvani. But none of the human students looked anything like Minho did now. His transformation was completely unusual. When they reached the medical center, Dr. Yang was waiting for them. He had prepared a story to explain what was happening to Minho. "Minho," he said, trying to sound calm and normal, "I see you are having some reactions to your immunization yesterday. This sometimes happens with our advanced medicine." "What kind of reaction?" Minho asked, his new deep voice made Dr. Yang nervous. "Sometimes human bodies react strongly to our multi-species vaccines." Dr. Yang lied. "Your body is just adapting to the medicine. It should stabilize soon, but I can barely fit through doorways now, Minho said, and I accidentally broke my bed last night, Dr. Yang pretended to write notes on his medical pad. This is all normal. He said, we see this type of delayed growth reaction in about 1% of human students. Your body will adjust, and the growth will stop soon. Jawan looks suspicious, really. He said, I have never heard of flu shots making people grow like this. They are. Yang gave Jiwan an angry look. Medical information is confidential, he said. Only the patient needs to know the details. Minho felt confused. The doctor's explanation did not make sense to him. His enhanced brain was working much faster than before, and he could tell that Dr. Yang was not telling the truth, but he did not know what else to do except trust the medical staff. Over the next few days, Minho tried to attend his regular classes, but everything was difficult. His enhanced strength made it impossible to use normal equipment in combat training class. He accidentally broke 3 practice swords just by holding them. The metal bent and snapped like twigs in his powerful hands. His instructor, Kim Taiwan, was amazed and worried. You need to control your strength better, he said, but even Kim had never seen anything like this before. Minho was stronger than the Vorthan students, who were supposed to be the most powerful beings at the academy and academic classes. Minho found that his brain was working much faster than before. He could solve complex math problems in seconds and understand difficult alien languages without studying. His enhanced memory allowed him to remember everything he read or heard perfectly, but the other human students started to avoid him. They were scared of his size and strength. Some whispered that he might be dangerous or that he was no longer really human. Minho felt very lonely and isolated. At night, Minho had strange dreams about battles and alien worlds. He saw visions of himself fighting against huge monsters and leading armies across distant planets. His brain seemed to be processing information about military tactics and combat strategies that he had never learned. Meanwhile, Dr. Yang was getting worried calls from alien government officials who had heard rumors about an enhanced human at the academy. Some aliens were very interested in studying Minho, while others saw him as a potential threat. Ambassador Veltar from the Hegemony Coalition contacted Dr. Yang secretly. The ambassador offered large amounts of money for detailed information about Minho's condition. He wanted to know exactly what had caused the transformation and how it could be controlled or repeated. Dr. Yang realized that Minho had become valuable to various alien governments. They saw him as either a weapon to be used or a problem to be solved. Either way, Dr. Yang knew he could make a lot of money by providing information about Minho's enhanced abilities. He started taking secret measurements of Minho's strength, speed, and brain function. During routine medical checkups, he told Minho these were normal tests to monitor his health, but actually he was gathering data to sell to alien buyers. Sora became more and more worried about what they were doing. She could see that Minho was being treated like a lab experiment instead of a patient. She wanted to tell him the truth about what had really happened, but Dr. Yang threatened to destroy her career if she said anything. The academy's training equipment kept breaking whenever Minho used it. The metal weights bent in his hands, and the running machines could not keep up with his speed. The academy had to order special equipment designed for the strongest alien species just so Minho could exorcise. Other students started making bets about what Minho could lift or how fast he could run. Some were excited to have such a powerful human at the academy, but others were jealous and resentful. They felt that Minho had an unfair advantage in all competitions and training exercises. Minho began to notice that he could hear conversations from far away. His enhanced senses picked up whispers from other rooms and floors. He started to overhear things that made him suspicious. Dr. Yang and other staff members talked about him like he was a research subject rather than a student one. Night, Minho heard Dr. Yang talking on his communication device to someone off-planet. The doctor was describing Minho's abilities and discussing payment for information. This made Minho realize that something very wrong was happening at the academy. He decided he needed to find out the truth about what had really happened to him. His enhanced intelligence told him that the story about delayed vaccine reactions was completely false. Whatever had been injected into him was much more powerful and dangerous than any normal medicine. Minho knew he had to be very careful about investigating, because if the medical staff were lying to him about his condition, they might also be planning something even worse for his future. Kang Min-ho walked slowly through the long white hallways of the Galactic Defense Academy Medical Center. His boots made soft sounds on the clean floor as he looked at the strange, alien symbols on the walls. The academy was huge and scary, but also exciting for a young human like him. He was only 8 years old and had dreamed of joining the academy since he was a little boy. The medical center smelled like chemicals and cleaning supplies. Min-ho had never liked hospitals or doctors, but today was just a simple flu shot, nothing to worry about. He told himself this as he walked toward room number 47, where he was supposed to get his injection inside. The medical room. Park Sora was getting ready for her next patient. She was a nurse who had been working at the academy for 2 years. Sora was nervous today. Because she had made a mistake earlier, the head doctor had yelled at her for mixing up some files. Now she was scared of making another error. Sora looked at the medicine cabinet where all the injections were kept. There were hundreds of small glass bottles with different colored liquids inside. Some were for humans, some were for the tall blue aliens called Vorthans, and some were for other strange creatures that studied at the academy. Each bottle had a label, but the writing was very small. When Min-ho knocked on the door, Sora jumped a little. She quickly grabbed what she thought was the right bottle without looking carefully at the label the bottle contained. A golden liquid that seemed to glow softly in the light. She did not notice that this bottle was from the special section, marked with red warning signs. "Come in," she called out, trying to sound calm and professional. Min-ho entered the room and sat down. On the examination table, he rolled up his sleeve and looked around the room. There were pictures of different alien body parts on the walls and strange medical tools he had never seen before. Everything looked very advanced and alien. "Just a flu shot, right?" Min-ho asked as Sora prepared the needle. "Yes, just a regular flu shot," Sora replied, but her voice was shaking slightly. She filled the needle with the golden liquid. Her hands were trembling as she tried to steady herself. Min-ho noticed that the liquid in the needle looked different from flu shots he had gotten before. This one was bright gold and seemed to move on its own inside the needle, but he trusted the medical staff at the academy. They were supposed to be the best in the galaxy. "This might feel a little different from normal flu shots," Sora said as she cleaned Min-ho's arm with a cold alcohol pad. "The academy uses special medicine that works on humans and aliens." "That makes sense," Min-ho said. He closed his eyes as the needle went into his arm. The injection felt warm as it entered his body, much warmer than any shot he had ever gotten before. It was like liquid fire flowing through his veins. Sora pulled out the needle and put a small bandage on his arm. "There you go, all finished," she said quickly. She wanted Min-ho to leave before anyone noticed her mistake. Min-ho stood up and rolled down his sleeve. "Thank you," he said, and walked toward the door. As he reached for the door handle, he felt a strange tingling sensation in his fingers. It was like tiny electric shocks running up and down his arm. "Are you okay?" Sora asked when she saw Min-ho pause at the door. "Yes, I think so," Min-ho replied. But the tingling was getting stronger and spreading up his arm toward his shoulder. "Maybe I should rest for a while. You should go back to your dorm and sleep," Sora said quickly. "The medicine sometimes makes people tired." Min-ho nodded and left the medical room. As he walked down the hallway, the tingling sensation spread across his chest and down his other arm. His heart was beating faster than normal, and he felt very warm. The academy's air conditioning system was always cold, but now he felt like he was standing in a hot desert. By the time Min-ho reached his dorm room, the tingling had spread to his entire body. He opened the door and saw his roommate Lee Ji-won sitting at his desk, studying for tomorrow's alien history exam. "How did the flu shot go?" Ji-won asked without looking up from his books. "Fine, I think," Min-ho said, but his voice sounded different. It was deeper and stronger than before. Ji-won looked up in surprise. Min-ho went to his bed and lay down. The warm feeling in his body was getting stronger, and now he could feel something happening to his muscles. They felt tight and sore. Like he had been exercising for hours. He tried to relax, but the sensation kept getting more intense as the hours passed. Min-ho began to notice changes in his body. His arms looked bigger than before, and his shirt felt tight around his chest. When he looked in the mirror, his face seemed different too. His jaw was more square, and his eyes looked brighter than normal. Ji-won fell asleep at his desk around midnight, but Min-ho could not sleep at all. The changes in his body were becoming more obvious. His muscles were growing larger every hour. His regular academy uniform was starting to feel very uncomfortable. The sleeves were tight around his arms, and the pants felt short on his legs. By morning, Minho had grown several inches taller and much more muscular. When he tried to get out of bed, he accidentally broke the bed frame. His hands had become so strong that he crushed the metal without meaning to. The sound woke up Jiwon, who stared at his roommate in shock. Minho, what happened to you? Jiwon asked in amazement. You look completely different. I don't know, Minho replied. His voice was now much deeper and more powerful than before. I think something is wrong with that flu shot. Minho tried to put on his uniform, but it was impossible. The shirt would not fit over his huge chest and arms. The pants were too short and too narrow for his muscular legs. When he tried to force the shirt on, it tore apart in his hands. He looked at himself in the full-length mirror and could not believe what he saw. He looked like one of the alien warriors from the advanced combat classes. His body was now similar to the Vorthan students, who were known for being the strongest beings in the galaxy. When Minho tried to open their dorm room door, he accidentally pulled the handle completely off. The metal handle was crushed in his grip like it was made of soft clay. Jiwon watched in amazement as his roommate's strength seemed to have no limits. I think we need to go to the medical center, right now, Jiwon said. Minho agreed, but he was worried about walking through the academy looking like this. Other students would stare and ask questions. He did not know how to explain what had happened to him. The flu shot was supposed to be simple and safe, but now he looked like a completely different person as they prepared to leave their room. Minho realized that his life at the academy would never be the same again. Whatever had been in that injection had changed him forever. He was no longer just a regular human cadet. He had become something much more powerful, and he had no idea what that meant for his future.